30 trillion. This debt overhang, Mr. President, is responsible for the problems we're having, which nobody says he knows the detail, how they spent that money. Outside 809-something billion, which this parliament, this Senate, approved.
So, as Tinubu's government continued to blame the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, for their economic failure, the federal government of Nigeria, which is Tinubu government, announced is set to probe the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, over 22.7 trillion ways and means loan. Yes, my people. That's the headline there. It says the federal government has initiated moves to audit the 22.7 trillion ways and means loan approved by the immediate past administration of former president Muhammadu Buhari. This was disclosed by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Odun, on Tuesday at the Public Wealth Management Conference in Abuja, where he explained the details would be released soon. The news also goes ahead to say that the Senate also on Tuesday said it will launch an investigation into the 30 trillion ways and means advances the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, extended to the federal government under President Muhammadu Buhari.
Before we conclude this debate today, the rate of Naira may have moved to 1,900. What does this suggest? We're in a state of emergency when it comes to management of our economy. Something must be wrong.
It is classified as obligation, 30 trillion. This debt overhang, Mr. President, is responsible for the problems we're having, which nobody says he knows the detail, how they spent that money. Outside 809-something billion, which this parliament, this Senate, approved.
We have colossal amount of money given to the banks, and this amount runs into trillions of naira. Some of the governors that benefited from that 18 billion naira are here.
Distinguished Senator Ndume, you were there when the ways and means were approved.
Check, I was not there, check the record. And as I said, number one, wait now, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot approve illegality. What they did was illegal. The Senate doesn't have the right. Let it be on record. I was not there. I was not there. Check the record. I was not there, but you were there. But I was not there. I was not there.
You see, the truth of the matter is that these people, they know exactly what they are doing. The Senate, through one government, will loot money. I remember the time of President Muhammadu Buhari when they were approving these loans. We talked, we said something, all of us, we cried out that this money, the one they are borrowing itself is too much. The Senate never listened. In fact, as a matter of fact, they told us that for Nigeria to succeed, we need to continue borrowing. So after all the borrowing, which was approved by the Senate itself, now they are coming out. The Senate president is coming out to tell Nigerians that he was not aware of what the money was used for.
What the 9th National Assembly approved or ratified in terms of ways and means was not 29 or 30 trillion. It was 22. But there was 819 billion to attend to deal and address very serious infrastructural dilapidations that we had across the country. So if we have a ways and means that is 30 today, that means something happened between then and now. And it's for the National Assembly to find out what happened.
This is just distraction. This is distraction because we have seen worse than this before. Distraction, an unnecessary distraction to take the minds of Nigerians out of what is happening in Nigeria today. Meanwhile, in another news, an international media had settled down to expose the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let's watch the video.
Our next story is from Africa, from its biggest economy, Nigeria. Nigerian President Bola Tinubu is under fire again, this time over allegations of nepotism. He recently announced a shake-up in Nigeria's Federal Housing Authority. And he's appointed this man as the new MD/CEO, Oyetunde Ojo. He's a former Nigerian MP. He served from 2011 to 2015, but he failed to get re-elected in the 2015 election. After that, he turned to business, reportedly in the oil and gas sector. And now he's the CEO of a housing authority. What's his qualification? Apparently, over a decade's worth of experience in the housing and hospitality industries. That's what the Nigerian government said while appointing him. But exactly when did this happen? When did he get the time to acquire this decade's worth of housing experience? It remains a mystery. But the Nigerian government insists that he is the best man for the job. Of course, they need to hype up his credentials to deflect from his other big achievement. And what's that? Being married to Fola Shade Tinubu, the oldest daughter of President Bola Tinubu. Nepotism is never good for optics after all, and the last thing Tinubu needs is another scandal. The Nigerian president has been racking up controversies ever since he took office. The last one was about an oil field, an offshore oil block called OPL 245. It was a disputed field bought by European oil giants Eni and Shell. There were corruption allegations. Nigeria had sued the oil companies. The case was pending in international tribunals. But last month, the president of Nigeria restored the fields to the Europeans. He ended all legal disputes over the offshore field and called for the matter to be resolved amicably. Now, you can choose to look at this as Tinubu moving forward, as him dropping a long dispute and getting back to business. Or you may wonder about the timing. Eni, one of the European oil firms involved here, signed another deal recently. This happened a few months ago. They sold their Nigerian onshore assets to a local firm, a firm called Onado PLC. The sale was very beneficial for the Nigerian oil company. Its total oil reserves doubled after it bought Eni's assets. And guess who is the chief executive of the Onado group? A man called Adewale Tinubu, or Wale as he's popularly known. The last name is not a coincidence. He is related to the Nigerian president too. He is the president's nephew. So a European oil company sells its business to Tinubu's nephew. The nephew's company benefits, and Nigeria drops litigation against the Europeans soon after. What does that sound like to you? Allegations of nepotism and corruption are hounding the president. But that's not all. He's also been accused of using his office for personal gain, using it to fund a luxurious lifestyle, like with the yacht controversy. Tinubu became president last year. He took office in the month of May. His government had to release a supplementary budget to allocate resources for this year, and this happened in November. The budget came in November. But while the budget was being discussed, an anomaly came to light. Money was earmarked for a presidential yacht, a princely sum of 5 billion naira. That's about $3.5 million US. Now, Nigeria is an economic powerhouse, but it's still a developing nation. There is massive wealth inequality. People are struggling with the cost of living crisis and reeling after the government reduced fuel subsidies last year. In this environment, President Bola Tinubu was buying a yacht on the taxpayers' dime. You can imagine the uproar. Nigerians were furious. So were opposition lawmakers. They forced the government to divert the yacht money. It was funneled into a student loan fund instead. But you see, the yacht had already been delivered by then to the Nigerian Navy. So now they have to find a way to pay for the luxury boat. And these are just some of the controversies that have dogged Tinubu since he took office. There are others as well, and by the looks of it, there will be more to come. Hopefully, Nigeria will continue to progress despite the extravagance of its president and the enrichment of his family.
All right. And as usual, my Nigerian people, they trooped the comment section to pour out their mind on this news. This person here says, as a Nigerian, thank you for speaking up for us. This is the worst government. Nepotism is an understatement. Dishing out government policies without consultation. Just few months into his government, the Naira has lost more than 55% to the USD. Inflation has more than doubled. For example, a bag of rice sold at 44,000 Naira by November 2023. Now it sells at 90,000 Naira 205,000 naira. And the government seem to be confused. The only thing they do is travel to summit with up to 200 entourage that has no need to be there. That is it for you all, my people. I'm stopping this particular one here, and I'm gonna let you all share your thoughts with me on the comment section. The only thing I'm happy now is that the nepotism is not only being held in Nigeria, it has gone on the international stage. This is international media reporting about the nepotism of Nigerian's government. So I'm gonna let you all share your thoughts with me on the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye bye.